Are you trying to eat healthy but feel like your wallet's getting in the way? You're not alone. Healthy food in the US has a reputation of being expensive. But today, I'm going to show you how to stretch $50 on nutritional meals. No gimmicks, no crazy couponing, just simple, affordable, healthy food made with a little strategy and a lot of flavor. Let's get into it. Healthy eating feels expensive. So let's be real. It's easy to walk into a store and spend $50 on junk, snacks, soda. With healthy, we often picture pricey organic produce, fancy supplements, and meals that look like they came from a five-star wellness retreat. But healthy eating, it doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. The issue is marketing. The food industry makes junk cheap and easy, but with a little planning, you can flip the script and make healthy food affordable too. Today, we'll be doing our shopping at Walmart. Here's the game plan with $50. We're going to be prioritizing whole foods, nutrition dense options, low cost, and high yield staples. So let's head into the store. Let's get to it. Start off with our fruits and vegetables. Let's start off with fruits and vegetables. Do scallions, like 88 cents for two of these. Do that. Do the shredded carrots are it's like $2. Straw. Alright, I'm gonna do strawberries, like $2 for these strawberries. Let's see. Let me do some jalapenos. Jalapenos, $1 a pound. The onions, about like $1 a pound as well. Avocados, about 88 cents each. I have my fruits and vegetables that I like the most, but it's easier to shop in season and get what's cheaper instead of trying to just get what I want and then use those vegetables in every meal. Cilantro. And mushrooms. Now that we got all our fruits and vegetables, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some of our grains and carbs. Let's do that. That's tough. I don't eat a lot of bread. always try to find the smallest amount I can get. Like some whole wheat bread and beans. Mm. Some rice. So I got my carbs. Now get some proteins. Woo. Protein. And then after we get our protein, we're gonna wrap up all our grocery shopping. Now we're done shopping from Walmart. We got our whole grains and carbs. We got our vegetables and fruit. We also got some protein because I got my protein source is a bit different because I don't eat a regular diet. I eat more on a plant-based diet. My protein's pretty simple. It's just like dairy-free yogurts, tofu, and a lot of stuff I already get in bulk. If I also switch it up and do it differently, you have chicken that you can get that's on sale, whether sometimes it's better to get it cooked depending on where you're going at. I saw a lot of ground beef and turkey while I was at Walmart that you could have got that was about $3, $4. Nothing. You don't have to break the bank when you're going and getting these foods. There are a couple of things that you could do that can adjust for how you're meal planning for what you're going to eat, whether you're trying to make stuff that'll last a week or if you're trying to stretch it 2 weeks. It's all depending on what your plan is. My total at the end of my shopping with everything included, this great stuff here was $50.62. And this is going to last me a long time. And go over a couple meal plans that I could do with this. I could do meal plans with all this stuff that's gonna be 3 meals in a day. I have options for breakfast where I can do oatmeal with bananas. I always have PB2 powder, so bananas, peanut butter. If you don't have peanut butter, you don't need it. Strawberries. The next meal, I can literally do rice and beans with sauteed mushrooms and some rice and beans with sauteed mushrooms and a little bit of with sauteed mushrooms. Rice and beans together is a complete protein source and it helps keeps you full. And mushrooms is a great way to add another vegetable source in or to add another source of carbs. And for dinner on a meal like this or on dinner as well for a day like that, I would do sweet potatoes sauteed with onions, chives, a little bit more tofu, and I'll add in some diced tomatoes with that as well. The second day, so we could switch it up where we literally don't have to have the same thing. We could eat like the same breakfast setup each time, but we don't have to. But the next day, if I wanted to have a parfait, I could make one myself. I have the strawberries, I have the bananas with my yogurt. I could switch out how I want to do it. And for a lunch on a day like that, I would saute my jalapenos and have it with the rice, some avocados, so you can add some avocados in there. With that, get some healthy fats in, have that with a bit of protein. So for me, that would be the tofu. Dinner on a day like this, I would do something incorporating the bread just because we had something light with the rice and vegetables and the parfait for breakfast. I would do either a sandwich or you can have toast, do sweet potato fries or mashed sweet potato, kind of depending on the mood that I had for that day. The mashed sweet potatoes, you can add chives in there. You can season how you want to, whether you want to make it sweet or savory. With what we have going on, I would go for more of a savory. Making these beans and rice, I would make it in a large batch. So I can literally cut that bag of rice in half, use some of it with the frozen vegetables, and use some of it to go with the rice and beans, and just have some that's just regular for plain rice. And that gives me so much freedom to do a lot with the rice and beans or with the rice. Day, if you need more variety, again, instead of having just the oatmeal or the yogurt for breakfast, we can do avocado toast. We can add chives or jalapenos to that. I'm a big fan of spice, so I would like to add the jalapenos to that. I'm a big fan of spice, so I would add the jalapenos to that personally. I can eat raw jalapenos all day. I love it. Later for lunch, we can do sauteed onions with garlic, chives, and you could cook that with some mushrooms and have that with rice and beans. Dinner, do roasted sweet potatoes, which is one of my favorite ways to have sweet potatoes. And you can do a sweet potato bowl when you roast it, and you can fill that with the onions, garlic, spinach, mushrooms, protein of choice, and you can fill that with as much as you want or as little as you want. Really yours. It's a great versatile dish, especially when we're looking at especially if we're looking at hitting macros and staying on track that way. And especially with shopping like this and with plans looking at this, I like to look at things that I can use more than one way. Look at things that it's going to last me a while and I don't have to be stuck eating the same cookie cutter type meal each time. I'm not a fan of that. This is my preference. Here are 5 quick hacks to make sure that your $50 go even further. 1, you can buy generic store brands. They're literally the same ingredients, just at a lower cost. 2, use frozen fruits and vegetables. They're cheaper and they're just as nutritious as fresh fruits and vegetables. They're not so far off. Next, you can cook in batches. Saves you time and money. Reuse ingredients. I have my carrots I'll reuse my jalapenos. For me, that can go in anything. You can even use spinach that goes in anything as well. You can limit meats because meats can be a lot of times where people spend a lot of their money. You can get plant-based proteins like beans, lentils, mix in some things to get your protein sources as well and not solely rely on meat. Eating healthy on a budget isn't about perfection. It's about intention. You don't need to eat organic everything or buy expensive protein powders. You just need to fuel your body with real food made with love and a little bit of prep. Small changes lead to big results, even on a budget. And buy things in season, not just what you want. I bought the bananas not just because I like bananas, but because it's summertime and they're in season. Way cheaper compared to buying them in the winter. So this is true that you can eat healthy in the US with $50 or less a week. If this video helped you, hit that like button, subscribe for more real life wellness tips. Comment below what your go-to budget meal is. I love to see what you're cooking up. See you in the next one. Stay strong, stay healthy, and stay smart with your money.